So, oh, yeah, hi everyone. So I've been kind of out of bounds for the last 2 days. I said on the last the Rogers video that I had a few topics in my head that I wanted to go over this week with these, and then just football moves so fast, guys. You need to really have your finger on the pulse. I've been out of commission for like 2 days at a wedding, well, a day and a half really. And I thought, okay, I'll move the car around, I'll turn the radio and just see what the headlines are and that. And then I heard obviously Ranieri's out at Fulham. I was like, oh my god, that kind of takes away a little part of what we wanted to chat about today. Okay, so this is going to be, you'll when you're watching this, you'll see the title of the video, Making Money from Relegation Part 1. Okay, I'm having to break this into at least 2 parts, maybe 3, just with the amount of, and this is the topic, this is one of the topics, one of 2 things I wanted to cover these with, but there's just so much detail involved that I'm having to break it up into bits and pieces. Okay, so rather than taking you through the app and the website and all the different apps and all that I normally do, I've basically went through and screenshotted everything just to do it almost like a slideshow for you. But I wanted to start on this and look at the footy, the size of it. It's just went up another 328 points last day of February. You know what I mean? Paid for a lot of people, I'm sure. And it's just took a massive bump again. Along with the news, obviously, Roger in, Ranieri out. It's had a bit of an impact on things. James Forrest took a bit of a turn as well since the last time we looked at him. But yeah, so let's just dive right into it, guys, okay? So where do we start? Okay, cool. So, making money from relegation. Now, there's a few teams that we're going to touch on here, but today we're going to start with the obvious one, which is Villarreal, okay? I say the obvious one because they're the most attractive team down there on so many fronts, and when you really scratch beneath the surface, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a lot of good things going on, okay? So if you've been on the index for a while, you will have seen some of the players on their team that have kind of performed a little bit better in terms of value, moving. Sorry, I'm just putting the window on the car. But they are still in Europe. I mean, European football is still there. They're playing St. Petersburg home and away, which, you know, they are not going to be afraid of at all. You know, it's a very winnable game. You know, they could equally lose it. But Villarreal as a team and as a set of players will go into that game with some confidence, and they're really looking forward to that. On top of that, the majority of their La Liga fixtures aren't really eye-catching. You know, they've also got Barcelona there, and when you scroll down past here, they've got Real Madrid on like the third last game, or something like that. But quite far apart, and in between, there's a lot of Spanish teams are just so closely competitive with each other, so that anything could happen in these games positively for you. Match day bonuses, goals, assists. Don't really look at that too much for who we're going to be chatting about. The first one is Pablo Fornals. Okay, now he's up at, you'll see him on the slides, he's up at £2 or something like this, but he's been previously linked to the Premier League. He's a Spanish midfielder, and throughout games you can see his stats there. Shots per game, tackles and dribbles per game are all good numbers for somebody who's 23 and playing for a team who is obviously struggling and not giving him the platform for how good he is. But when you look at the Europa League, the stats go up even more. So 7 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists, average rating so much higher, and shots per game's up a good amount as well. So with those, sorry, that's my mum. Those figures in the Europa League as well, it just makes him so attractive. He's obviously down, looking to get Villarreal are candidates to be relegated, so these players are undervalued at the moment, and this guy's got so much going for him. If Villarreal continue to lose these matches and just do poor, he's just obviously going to transfer even more. It's just becoming even more of a certainty. And on top of that, if he does well in Europe, then bonuses and everything, he's just got an extra opportunity that no other relegated team or potentially relegated team offers you at this time of the season. He's got a pre-established ceiling there of, let's just call it 243 over the last 3 months, and he's got a pattern, of going through, he's maybe won something or be linked to somebody, and then interest drops away, but he's got that back in him again, that potential for the future. We're just catching them there at the bottom of a lot of curvers. And like I say, guys, when you're buying players, you do want to be catching him at a safe point, you know. This isn't, you know, he's obviously been cheaper, but it's very gradual incline over a month. Just means he's slowly picking up pace. He's not going on any big sharp movements that you need to worry about people jumping on and off really quickly. Last 7 days, he's just too a bit of a dunk because there's a match day coming up. They're playing Alaves, which is quite a winnable game for Villarreal. So, you know, you're not really in a bad position if you buy him the round he plays well against Alaves, because he'll only go up further. He's not going to dip. That's a game he can definitely do something in, even if it's just an assist or a goal or something. The next team we want to look at is Huddersfield, okay? Now, there's probably, to most of you, a name that will just jump off the page here right away, and that's Aaron Moy, okay? But another one I want to chat to you about just real quickly is Philip Billing, okay? Highest rated player in the team. He's also played a lot more. He's like 23 or something like this. And he's in a good situation there now as well. If you look at his 3-month movement, again, we're at quite a safe point. Doesn't really drop below. You know, he's had the little points before where he drops down to like maybe, you know, 128 there, 129, 130 or whatever as well. But at 137, he's definitely got a lot of room for growth. You know, your commission on this is only going to be 3 pence. You know, so anything above £1.40 is profit. So it goes from £1.40 even up to £1.50. That's a £10 swing. No problem at all, which, you know, if he gets half a mention on Match of the Day or something like this as a potential player that could stay in the Premier League, then that's just a given that he'll move up to that kind of level, to be honest with you. Over the last month, yeah, he's kind of come down a little bit, and that's obviously because Huddersfield are doing really poor. 7 days, not too much. And then if you look at the fixtures, okay, so we're moving on to Aaron Moy, right, which is the player that will really jump off to you. And you'll recognise right away. Now, Aaron Moy is down at a really low level, right? And when, again, you scratch beneath the surface with Moy, you're going to see something really interesting, and it really took me back because I really started to delve into this. Number one, he's missed, you know, the best part of December. You see, he played against Arsenal on the 8th of December, and he didn't play again until the 29th of January, you know what I mean? So that's a massive 6-week period where he's out. Then goes from the 9th to the 23rd. That might have been maybe a cup break or something like this. I didn't really look into it, you know, beyond that, but again, it's another big break away from matches where he's not getting attention, he's not getting an opportunity to shine when other teams and other players would have been. But look at this graph. This honestly blew me away. That's his 3-month graph. Over the last 3 months, I've never seen anyone hover between such a narrow margin. Really look at this graph, 131 and 127. Over the 3-month period, you can practically make out every movement he's ever made. It's not like, you know, let's jump back one, you know. Even that, you know, it's blue sticks all over the place. And look at that, it's practically all blue. But when you look at Moy's 3 months, and, you know, sorry, 2 seconds to keep doing this, but that's his 1 month. That's his 3-month. I mean, look at that, you know, it's incredible. But Moy's is just, honestly, pure took my breath away. He's such a safe hold. He's probably one of the safest players I've ever seen in my life, because we all know he's going to stay in the Premier League. I think Huddersfield paid big money for him off Man City after he'd been doing so well at the sister club Melbourne City. Man City bought them, owned him at Huddersfield. They got promoted. He was the best player in the team. You know, he's obviously too good for the Championship now. You know, 1 month, look at that. Look at that graph for 1 month. That is insane. And then look, 7 days, not even one blue dot, nothing. And then when you look at him in the league, you know, shots per game, tackles per game are really high as well, you know. So that's obviously because they're not getting a lot of the ball, and that's why his dribbles will be really low. But we all know he's got any potential. If Huddersfield, let's look at the fixtures that are coming up. Have we done them already? No, I didn't grab the fixtures, but they're playing Brighton at the weekend. If Moy scores and they get beat 4-1, you know what I mean? That's still a massively positive thing for him. He's going to get mentioned on Match of the Day, highlighted, and again, if Gary Lineker says, could he stay in the Premier League for next year? You know, then sorted. You know, you're rolling in it. The next one is Sessegnon. Goes without saying why. Everything about him, especially with Ranieri getting sacked, it's just more uncertainty they're going to get relegated, and that's why he's probably took a bit of a spike recently. Over the last 3 months, he's got a good graph as well. There's a lot of blue movement in there, you know, lots of little peaks and troughs. But he's continually on an upward movement since I've been in this, you know. I keep forgetting this isn't live. I was going to look at the year one there, but Sessegnon is just one who, again, we know a big club's going to come after him. And again, similar to Moy, if you look at the fixtures that they've got, even defeats, if he does something, scores assists, just works hard off the ball, you know, in any of these games. And then you get another manager commenting on him if they're asked a question, and again, match of the day, this type of thing. He's only going to move up, okay? So that's basically the end of the video, guys. I took a wee picture of where we started just so I knew that was us. If you like the video, guys, drop a thumb, subscribe please, it means a lot to me. Interact as well, guys, if there's anyone you've noticed. Bear in mind I do have another 2 parts of this to come, so it's not as if that's the only people that we want to talk about on the subject, but just to give you a heads up, there is a little list already. But yeah, subscribe, like, retweet. As for we had a competition and we've had a bit of a dilemma with who to give prizes to and stuff like that. So all went well, winners are all happy and everything, but we've got 2 Chelsea, no, 2 Liverpool, I forget, it's Liverpool and Chelsea, but it's 2 and 1, and nobody wants Man United for on, basically. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, bye bye.